All right. We'll be switching gear just a little bit and talk about the messages in HTTP protocol. This is actually a very important part of an application layer protocol design, and we'll be using HTTP as an example to talk more. For all the application layer protocols coming up the rest of the chapter, we're just going to go real quick. Okay. Now, it's also important to spend some time here to talk about the messages in HTTP protocol because in the second half of the semester, you'll be implementing a web server. That means you will need to be able to interpret messages coming from the client. And you will also need to be able to generate the messages you need to be sending to the client. Okay? So, hey, receiving from the client, sending to the client. Yeah, those messages happens to be the HTTP request and HTTP response. Request is the one coming from the web browser to your web server. Response will be the messages you generate and send back to the client. All right? So there are two types, easy, and that is about the easiest part. Now, what comes a bit complicated is next. Let's look into an example of the HTTP request message. Here's one. I know, a bit messy, isn't it? Okay, but hey, bear with me. That's reading. Get index.html http/1.1. Okay, not so bad. Host column worldwideweb-net.cs.umass.edu. Not so bad. I can probably guess what that means. User agent column again. Firefox. Oh, that's a web browser implementation, isn't it? 3.6.10. Oh, probably the version number of the browser, being a Firefox browser. And so, hey, accept language, EN US, probably English, US type of English. Not so bad. Keep alive, 115. Connection, keep alive. So maybe the connection is this type, the keep alive type. And maybe 115 is to specify how long the connection should be kept alive. So, until now, your experience is saying this. It's reasonably readable, human readable. It doesn't take a computer to read and fully understand it. So yes, HTTP messages, including requests and responses, they are all text-based, very readable. Let's take a closer look at the syntax of HTTP request message. First is the request line. It's only a single line, 3 tokens, separated by 2 spaces, one over here and one over here. First token indicates the command the client is issuing to the server. So get here is the most classic command. Second token here indicates which object the client is wishing to download. So here you see the path and the file name of the object. Third token is very straightforward. It's simply telling the server the version of the HTTP protocol the client is implementing. Now, header lines. Syntax is also quite straightforward. Column in the middle. Before the column, this is called the attribute or the field name. And whatever comes after the column is the value of the attribute or the value of the field name. All right, so user agent is a well-defined attribute in HTTP. It indicates what implementation the browser is and the version of it. So user agent indicating the meaning being user is using a browsing agent called Firefox, and it's version 3.6.10 of Firefox. Okay, similarly, keep alive, also a predefined attribute. And the value 115 is saying that let's keep the connection alive for 115 seconds if there are no messages being sent. Connection indicates the type of connection the client is wishing to establish. It's the keep alive kind of connection. And so you see the syntax and a little bit of semantics of HTTP request.